My name is Eden Rainey, Miss West Tennessee volunteer, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pageant Project. My next guest is Eden Rainey. Eden, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And before we dive into it, I'm going to read out Eden's bio for you, just so you get to know a little bit about her. So Eden Rainey is a graduate of Union University, where she earned her Bachelor of Science in Biology and is a licensed cosmetologist specializing in pageant hair and makeup. Through her professional experience, she has had the opportunity to mentor young women, helping them build confidence and discover their true sense of self-worth. She currently holds the title of Miss West Tennessee Volunteer, where she actively serves through her platform, Empowerment Garden, cultivating healthy lives and building strong foundations by planting seeds of change. Her platform focuses on empowering individuals through education as a foundation for success, while also supporting those in need by providing essential resources that equip them to thrive. With a unique blend of experience in science, beauty, leadership, and service, Eden is deeply committed to empowering others, promoting education, and making a meaningful impact in her community. That's a lot. Eden, did I miss anything, or are we good to go?
I think we're good.
You guys always send me the longest bio, and I think I'm tempted one day to get you guys to read out your own bio to see how you go with it. But why don't we start with the simple things? How has your week been? I understand you had a busy weekend. So how is pageant prep and life going in general?
Oh, it was so good. And everything, like, with my week helped with my own pageant prep, especially helping build my makeup skills, doing a wedding this past weekend, and then I got through coaching with a lot of girls yesterday. So it was very insightful, not even like just from like the judging perspective, but like as a contestant, seeing what the judges see.
What's the best part and the worst part of doing makeup for weddings? Because I got to imagine that like emotions can be fairly high and it might be fairly stressful at times, right?
The best part is when somebody like looks in the mirror and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! Thank you so much. I've never looked this good before." And then the worst part is when they look in the mirror and they go, "I don't like this. Redo this." And like, I'll do it, but we can't take the whole face off. That can be kind of hard sometimes for somebody to not think what I did looked good.
How do you go through that process though? Because I imagine that if you're going to get someone in to do your wedding makeup, you make sure, I would do this anyway, that you do like a test shoot, but with makeup, right? You don't just whatever happens on the day happens on the day and that's it.
Now, there's some people that do that. I personally would not do that. I'm not that brave. But a lot of times people will book a trial and we'll do a trial run for their makeup, their hair. One of my friends, I got to go to the beach and do her hair and makeup for her wedding. And I think we did like 5 trials. So
5.
yeah,
Was that because she was very picky or because you were getting it wrong?
we're friends and we were in cosmetology school together at the time. So sometimes we would just do it for fun at school because we wanted something to do that wasn't rolling perms. So that helped us both get out of doing things we did not want to do at school.
Was she happy with how it turned out after take 5?
She loved it every time, but she always was like, "Let's just do another trial."
Okay. Are you going to be as picky yourself? Are you guys going to reverse role play and she do your makeup when you get married?
She might. I don't know. I like doing my own. We'll see.
That's something. Before we get into the pageant side of things, if you can do your own makeup, but let's say it's a stressful situation like a pageant or like a wedding, would you rather do it yourself or would you rather have someone come in and do it for you?
I like doing my own makeup, but if I can have somebody else do my hair for me, somebody else can do it. It's just hard because like you can't see the back of your head. So you don't know what's going on back there, and then like your arms are up, you get sweaty. I'll let somebody else do my hair all day.
Okay, all right. But makeup, we're doing it ourselves. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Why don't you get us started by telling us how you got into pageantry to begin with? Because as we read off your bio, graduate of Union University, and you have a Bachelor of Science in Biology, which doesn't often segue, let's say, into doing pageantry. So how did you get involved in this crazy world?
Okay, so I haven't told you this, but In
Don't tell me it's
2000,
a flyer. That
no.
seems to have been the recurring theme recently. Everyone got a flyer in the mail.
So I did my first pageant in 2018. Like I was still in high school, and it was the Miss Slugburger Festival pageant.
A what?
A slug burger.
Oh, what's a slug burger?
Okay, so like back in the olden days, they used to call a nickel a slug, and this burger cost a nickel, so they called it a slug burger. But it
Wow.
has like, I think it's like pork in it. It's not like a hamburger patty, but they're like
Okay.
very local to my region. Like it's a big deal. Like we have the Slug Burger Festival. It's
Okay.
huge every single year, and they have a pageant. And I did the Slug Burger Festival, and I won that pageant in 2018. And I was like, I did it. I won one. Only one I did. So I took a break for a very long time. And it didn't like have all the different aspects, like interview.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was just walk in a dress. That was it. But took a break for like 5 years. Didn't do anything after that. And I had a friend that I was in school with, and she was like, "You should do a pageant." I was like, "I don't know. I'm not very pageanty." She's like, "Yes, you'd be great." So I did my first pageant at 23 years old. Well, first like full on pageant at
Yeah.
23, and I did very bad. I then went on to compete at 7 prelims before I won my first title of Miss Mid South Volunteer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I have a couple of questions. When you say you did really bad, what exactly does that mean? Did you fall off the
No,
stage?
I just was so extremely clueless, and I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know the order of anything. I was just told, "Hey, you should go do this." So I went and did it, and I went in completely blind.
Okay. All right. But just can I clarify? So you actually do have a title of Miss Slugburger 2018.
Yes. Miss Slugburger Festival 2018.
Do you have a sash or crown or like a, I don't know, like a
Yeah,
one of those?
it was like one of those like huge crowns. And the sash, I'm pretty sure, was just like a ribbon from Hobby Lobby, and they used like the puff paint and put Queen on it.
Okay. So Miss Slugburger Festival 2018. Can I just ask? I know there's nothing to do with yourself, but does Slugburger still exist?
Oh, yes.
But it can't. You said it's named after a nickel. It's not possibly a nickel
No,
now, right?
no. They're like $2, $3.
That's still very reasonable. It's
Yeah.
just not quite a nickel.
They're not
So,
made with the hot, like highest quality products, but they're really good.
I mean, if you charged a nickel for a burger, I'm not expecting, but I'm sure it tastes okay at least, right?
They're good. They're really good.
Okay, good. Well, you are their representative, even if it's back in 2018. So, when's the last time you had one?
Oh,
Don't say
maybe
2018.
no, probably like 4 months ago before I started watching
Oh,
what I
cool.
was eating more.
Okay. All right. So it's tasty, but it's not necessarily the best pageant food.
No.
So you had a break of about 5 years.
Yes.
I mean, you said your friend told you, oh, you'd be really good at pageants. So my first question is, what eventually persuaded you to enter? Because you said your first time sort of back, in your first serious pageant, you said you did not so well.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you actually decide to come back? And when the first pageant went so badly, in your own words, why'd you keep going?
Well, it was fun. Oh, I was so bad at it, but I had so much fun. So I kept going back and going back and going back. And I had set a goal for myself. I was like, I want to win a title. I want to be able to go to Miss Tennessee Volunteer. I love what the volunteer organization stands for, and I love being able to serve other people. So I just kept going back. And I could see myself growing from each pageant. And when I placed for the first time, I was like, my soul left my body. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting better. So it was just like watching the growth.
What was the most fun part for you? Was it watching the growth?
Watching the growth, and then it gave me another opportunity to be able to play piano on stage, because I hadn't done that since I was like in high school. Once piano lessons stopped, I didn't get that opportunity, and it gave me the chance to be able to do that again.
And what brought you to the volunteer system in particular? Because I mean, in Tennessee, you have a lot of choices. as to which pageant that you guys want to eventually enter. So, what brought you to the volunteer system?
So Union University that I went to school at, graduated from, is in Jackson, where Miss Tennessee Volunteer
Oh,
is, Miss Volunteer America. So I was very submerged in volunteer. I just didn't realize it. And my friend Mackenzie had a volunteer title, and she was like, "You should do one of these prelims." She explained to me like kind of how it goes and helped me figure out like, okay, you walk from this spot to this spot to this spot when you're on stage. So she really like guided me in the beginning and brought me into the volunteer system.
what? How much experience did you have? I know you were Miss Slugburger Festival 2018, but how much of a step up was it from that to your first time competing at Miss Tennessee Volunteer? Because I have to imagine there were quite a few things you had to do at Miss Tennessee Volunteer that maybe you didn't have to do for Miss Slugburger Festival.
Yeah, just like imagine you go into like a preschool classroom
Okay.
and then you go to your first day of college. That was the difference.
Right. That must have been a bit of a
Yeah.
shock then,
Yeah.
surely.
Yes.
Okay. But you liked it enough to stay around. What what changes, you talked about the self-growth, what changes or self-growth have you noticed in yourself over the time competing in pageants, like the serious ones, and specifically your time with Miss Tennessee Volunteer? What have you noticed about Eden that's changed or grown over that time?
So I used to be like very scared to like hold conversations with people. And I was just timid. I wasn't like very confident in who I was. So like through pageants, I was able to realize like, you know, I deserve to be able to talk to people and be seen and heard, and to know that like I feel like I put myself down a lot. And through pageantry, I was able to see that like I brought value to the table and I was able to make
Mm.
impacts in the lives of other people, and that I'm not just a blonde girl walking around. There's more to me than that.
I want to ask you a little bit about your childhood, your growing up, because I know a bit about it, and you've mentioned that volunteering is very close to your heart, which is why I want to ask about it, because there are some people in pageants who just do the service or do the platform for the pageant and then they stop. Whereas, from my experience with you, talking with you, you're the polar opposite of that. It's very much the other way, where service and volunteerism has always been a part of who you are. But if you trace us back to where that started from, walk us through maybe your childhood and why volunteering and serving others is so important, and not just important, but it's fundamental, I think, to who you are.
So, growing up, my dad, he still is, he's a pastor of a church. And I was volunteering, honestly, probably before I should have been able to volunteer. I can remember, I think I was like 9 years old, and they sent me to the nursery and said, "Watch these kids." So, like, growing up, they.
Okay. That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen, but okay.
I did it. Everybody was fine. But like I always was serving through my church. I was able to help watch the nursery and be with younger children, and then like helping just like serve food. And then as we got older, my family started going doing more like mission work, and we got to go to Ecuador as a family together in 2017. And that was just like really cool to be able to go with my whole family and serve in a completely different country in a different continent, and be able to see how you're able to make an impact on people's lives that like you can't even communicate with really because you don't even speak the same language. But
Mm.
they always just like brought me up with doing to others as you would have them doing to you. Give to others. If somebody needs help and you can see that they need help, do something for them. And I'm really glad that my parents taught me that growing up. And it really showed me the value of everything is not about you. The world does not revolve around you. So I'm just
Did
very grateful.
they do they understand much about pageants, or is that they have no understanding and you're the first one to go into this crazy world?
No, I'm the first one to go into it. My dad was kind of like, "What are you doing?" when I started doing it. But my mom literally, oh bless her heart, she has been to every single prelim with me. She has sat there from the time I check in till the very end. She's unloaded and loaded cars. She loves it. And I was kind of
Wow.
shocked that she would like it as
Yeah.
much as she does. But my dad, at the beginning, he's like, "What is this? What are you doing?" And now, like, he's the loudest person at Miss Tennessee. Last year, I could hear him screaming.
Okay.
And he's so excited about it. I just love that they're so involved now and they understand what's going on. Now, my sister, she's a little standoffish. She still cheers for me, but she's not the loudest because she
What,
still doesn't understand what's going on.
what, I don't understand how your dad understands what's going on sooner than your sister does. But you said you heard your dad. Does he scream anything in particular, or you just hear someone screaming in the dark auditorium?
Just hears screaming. You never know, like, what he's going to say.
What are some of the things he has said, or you were too busy? Can you repeat them? I don't know.
No, he's just like, he's always screaming. He's like, "That's my girl," so loud. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, pop down."
You got to love that, though, don't you? I mean, it's better than walking out to dead silence, which sometimes happens, and I feel sorry for whoever that happens to. But having a bit of family support is a good
Mhm.
thing, right? Tell me more about your time in Ecuador.
Oh, it was so fun. Okay, listen. It was kinda crazy, though. We ate some crazy food.
Continue.
Crazy. So, my dad ordered this soup one day, and he was just eating it, and then he stuck his, like, spoon deep in the bowl. He pulled out a whole chicken foot. Um,
Hmm.
we went to this one place. It was really cool. They gave you it was like a cane, and it had, like, fishing line, and you went out to the pond back behind the restaurant, and you had to catch your own fish, and then you brought it in. It still had, like, the head and eyeballs and everything attached. So, I ate as much of it as I could. It was good. It just was freaking me out that my food was looking at me. And then and I was sick this day. I couldn't eat. I think it was honestly God looking out for me. The last day we went to eat, and we went to this restaurant, and they brought out guinea pig.
Continue, I think.
No, guinea pig, like little pets.
Yeah. Yeah. I know my nephew has three of them. So what? What happened?
People ate it. I didn't eat it.
Mm. But, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to judge because every culture, right? Every country has its own foods. Yeah, I mean, as a Chinese person, having the fish come out whole with the mouth, the head, the eyeballs, and everything, that's how it's normally done. It's a very Western way of doing it when you have it cut up into a nice fillet and all the bones are removed. Chinese culture, we don't do that. But
I just feel
aside
bad.
from you,
I just feel bad when it looks back at me. That
it
just
was dead though, right?
I
It
know,
was dead.
yes, yes,
Okay.
it was dead, but I just feel bad for it.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay, that's fair enough. Okay. But I mean, people in the Bible even ate fish. All right. So you're in good company. But I can tell you, I promise you, I can tell you some traumatizing stories about things that weren't only looking at me when I ate them, but were still moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
And so we don't really need to go there. Um, in terms of Ecuador, what sort of volunteering work did you do over there? Like, how did you spend your day?
So we would get up we did a lot of vacation Bible schools out in, like, more rural communities,
Right.
and we were able to, like, have the kids come in for the whole day, and we do, like, crafts and things with them, but we'd also, like, feed them lunch and send them home with, like, snacks, and we would have small children, like 7, 8 years old, and they would come with, like, their 3, 4-month-old sibling, like, strapped on their back, bringing babies, by
Right.
theirself, just watching the babies, but they would come, and we would have a lot of other kids come, and we'd give them their meals, and they would eat a little bit of it, and then they'd take their plate still with food, and they'd walk home with it to give it to their other siblings. So, just, like, going into those communities and helping provide meals for them, like, it was we did pizza one night, and they never really got to have pizza, and, oh, I just felt so bad, like, we wouldn't even eat the pizza because the kids never got
Yeah.
to have it, and they would eat a couple bites of it, and then they'd wrap it up, and they'd be taking it home to their family.
How much of a culture shock? I mean, how long were you over in Ecuador for?
We were there, I think it was 8 days.
Right. How much of a culture shock was it going there and then coming back?
Oh, it was like very much. Because like growing up, my family, like, we were below the poverty line. But then to see that and to
Yeah.
see how these people are living, but they were so happy and so content, just to be able to see that life is not about the things you have, but it's about how you are and how you act towards other people and being grateful for what you do have.
Yeah. Tell me more about the volunteer work that you've done in your home state, because I know you've done a lot of amazing things, you and your family both. And sometimes in pageantry, we gloss over those. We get the photo of the pretty hair, the pretty makeup, the pretty dress, and then sometimes we forget that actually some of these people are doing absolutely amazing things in the community. So tell the people watching a bit about some of the volunteer work you've done in your home state.
So in April of last year, so 2025, we had a tornado come through McNairy County, and I literally was like in my bathroom in the bathtub with the dog waiting for it to pass over. And then we came out from the bathroom hiding from this tornado and found out like we had church members that had family that had been affected by it, people we knew, hundreds of people just lost everything. And then I was like, oh my gosh, these are like family pretty much. And I was
Yeah.
like, I need to do something to help them. So that night it was like 1:30 in the morning. I made a Facebook post. I already had people that were talking to me about being donation drop offs, and I ended up bringing in 40 carloads of donations to give to people. And
Wow.
then I went and volunteered with Mercy Chefs and helped make 3,000 meals to help give to tornado victims. And then through that, I was able to meet a family that had lost everything, and me and a bunch of my friends that I got to come volunteer with me. So that's really fun being able to take your friends with you to do this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Were able to help them. We brought in donations and provided them with things that they would need. And then my family was able to help get them a place to live because my great grandmother, well, not great grandmother, my grandmother had passed away and left her house. So we were able to help fix that to give a family to be able to live in. So just being able to watch my community come together when disaster struck so many people, it like really opened my eyes up to how many people really do care about volunteering and serving others. Because I feel like a lot of times with pageants, we get kinda, like, in our bubble of it's only us pageant
Yeah.
people doing stuff, but it really, like, helped open up my eyes to see that other people in my community are also passionate about it, and then it brought in people that now to this day will help me if there's something that I'm volunteering towards.
Walk me through the process of what it's like to, if I'm understanding correctly, even literally giving someone a house, because that's not just a meal. That's not just, and that's not a small thing either. I'm not saying that, but meals, clothing, and things like that is a bit different to a house, like a place to live, especially if they have a family, they have young kids. What was that process? How much of it do you remember?
It was just a lot of, like, going in and having to fix things, clean things up, paint things, help get it ready just for them to be able to move into. And then
Mm.
they were able to help also with a lot of things like repairs, but just being able to get it ready in a state for people to be able to live in again after a house had
Mm.
sat empty for so long, it was a lot. But it was just
What impact did it
amazing.
have on what impact did it have on them, though? Because, I
Yeah.
mean, if you even mention the idea of giving someone a house, that has to have some sort of impact on them.
Yeah, they were just like so grateful and just like to be able to watch like they had a little boy and being able to like watch him every time we'd bring them something. It was just like I don't even know how to put it into words. Just being able
Can
to
you
watch
say
your impact, like, actually change somebody's life. Like, holding just a conversation, just like
Yeah.
a 5-minute conversation with somebody and being able to make such an impact just by talking to them because they wanted somebody to pray with them. And for them to come to you and tell you their needs and then have my whole family behind me with it. Like, I
So
get so
how
overwhelmed talking about it.
how did it start? So the tornado hit,
Mhm.
and then having a conversation with this person because he wanted someone to pray with him. And then the conversation must have taken a turn for it to end up the way it did. So I can understand it's emotional because you really are, in many ways, saving someone's life. But how did it go from I want someone to pray with me to we have an empty house?
Well, I asked him after he came up and talked to me when I was volunteering with Mercy Chefs. I asked him, I said, "What do you need? Like, do you have anything?" And he told me, he literally said, "We lost everything."
Right.
And then, like, to watch a grown man, there's like three of me just like well up with tears telling me this, and then look over and see his wife that's pregnant at the time.
Oh.
Oh, it's just so much to talk about.
So was it your idea to volunteer up a house? Was it your dad's or your mum's? Like, how did that happen?
No, I text everybody and I said, "Hey, I've just met a family and we need to help them." And I was able to talk with them that day, and we got the ball rolling literally that day.
Right. Uh, can you give me an idea of how much destruction a tornado like that leaves behind? Because we don't have those here in Sydney. So when you're saying family has lost everything, is that literally that tornado is touching down and there's nothing left, no home, everything gone?
No, like, there's literally like a trail. You can see it.
Right.
Where once it touches down, it just destroys everything in its path. And they're so weird because you can look at a house and everything can be like literally just like crumpled around it. But you'll see like there was a picture of this from the tornado that came through. Somebody had a jug of sweet tea sitting on the kitchen counter. Everything else is out of place, just destroyed. And then there sits that jug of tea.
So everything next to it is destroyed, but somehow that jug of tea was left alone.
Yes.
How often does this happen in Tennessee when something of that magnitude comes through? Is it like every year? Is it once every 5 years? Once every 10 years?
We, like, have tornado season, like, April, May, sometimes March, and it's, like, really you never know. You'll have a big one in certain areas every few years, but I feel
Right.
like specifically McNairy County has been hit by so many tornadoes. I think it was, like, 2008, we had a really big one that came through then because I remember that when I was little happening,
Yeah.
and it came through and it hit a mattress store, and there was just, like, pieces of mattress still in the trees for years and years.
Well, right.
But they come through because, like, we've talked about how it's moved from, like, Tornado Alley to Dixie Alley, and there's so
Yeah.
many that come through now.
Has it how long does it take the community to rebuild? I mean, if a house has completely been destroyed, that's not something that can be fixed overnight. I mean, is it like years later there are still families that are living without a house?
We had the Red Cross come in and FEMA came in and did a lot to help during that
Right.
time, but, like, there's areas of town now this is just flattened where there were houses at. Like,
Yeah.
streets, no houses are there anymore. A lot of times, it's, like, people having to move in with family. I know there was a lot of people looking for rent houses when all of that
Yeah.
came through, and my family was like, "There's so many people looking for houses, like, we have a house sitting here that's empty, so
Yeah.
a family needs to be put in it. There's no reason for this to sit empty."
Yeah.
But we have this, like, organization called Jesus Cares in my community, and they had, like, I think it's, like, 10 or 12 little, like, tiny houses that they let, like, lower income or homeless
Mm.
people be able to live in, and it got completely destroyed during the tornado. So, that was just so sad seeing that
Yeah.
happen,
Okay.
but they were able to rebuild, and what they've built is nicer now than what they had before. So,
Right.
it takes time.
Right. If you to switch back to pageants for a second, if you were, I mean, you're competing in what, like 2 months, we'll call it. If you were fortunate enough to have the Tennessee crown placed on your head, what plans do you have to do with your title? Because I imagine, given that how close all of the tornado and you've already been involved in your community a lot, I have to imagine a lot of that work you want to continue doing in your local community, but just at a bigger level.
Mhm. So something that I would really want to do. I've already like written a bill that I would like to present is to have like a better alert system for tornadoes in the area because we have sirens that go off for the entire county. But if you're
Mm,
on one side of the county and the tornado's coming through the other, you if the tornado's coming at you, you really might not even think it's that serious. Like,
right.
I wish I would really like to do something where, like, if a tornado is spotted within, like, 10, 15 miles of you, you get an instant alert that one is touched down in that area. Because people, like, the man that my family was able to help, he told us that they didn't even realize how close the tornado was, that he was able to get him and his wife underneath their couch. He flipped it over, and he literally watched the tornado come over their house and, like,
Well,
their roof get ripped off and everything.
yeah.
It's just like a time, like people need more time to prepare to know to get into places and understand like the urgency of the situation. So, if I was crowned as Miss Tennessee volunteer, that would be one of the first things that I would want to do.
Right. Oh, what system exists at the moment if there's a tornado coming? You said there's sirens, but it mustn't be a perfect system, otherwise people would be getting more notice. Or is a tornado just one of those things that are they're also very hard to predict, so you never really know exactly where they're going to touch down, and then maybe they move really quickly as well?
Yeah, we like a lot of times in this area they happen at night. So like you can't see them when they're coming. And a
Okay.
lot of people like to, my dad included, like to look out the front door or sit on the front porch.
Can you hear it coming though? Okay, I guess you can't see it, but it must be making a very loud sound.
You can hear it once it's right there at your doorstep.
Right. So when do you know that it's actually there? If it's happening at night so you can't see it, when do you know that it's on top of you? When it's literally next door ripping the roof off?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Why does your dad do that? He
It's
like
just
to
a
live
thing.
dangerously?
No, it's just a thing with men in the South. They like to sit on their front porch and watch for the tornado. The weatherman has already been watching for you.
Okay.
Just go get in a storm shelter. Get in your bathroom. Get in the most central area of your house.
Okay. I just have this idea of people being sucked up in the tornado whilst they're on their rocking chair right off their porch. It doesn't sound like something that I'd want to watch from close up.
No, no, me either.
No.
I
Okay.
will stay in the bathroom, in the bathtub with my dog.
Can you tell me more about Tennessee? Tennessee is one of those states because I went to Miss Volunteer America last year. The first time I interviewed someone from Tennessee, she told me it was the Vol state, and I didn't know what she meant. And then I subsequently found out that it literally means the volunteer state. But Tennessee also is one of those states that has multiple time zones. So
Mhm.
some of it's in the east, some of it, like yourself, you're on Central Time or something like that. And then it almost seems like it's a very, very long but narrow state.
Mhm.
But Tennessee fascinates me because the people there, because when I was at Miss Volunteer America last year, the people there are something else. They're just so friendly. And it's like within one sitting down for one meal, suddenly everyone becomes your family. Tell me, tell me more about what is it like in Tennessee? What's the state like? What are the people like? What makes Tennessee a bit different from all the other states?
Tennessee's a very humid state. Hot and humid here. That's
Right.
the weather right now. But the people, it's just, I love the people. Even like in my own hometown, you don't know everybody, but everybody acts like they know you. Everybody's sweetheart. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Like there's just a different level of respect for individuals, I feel like here. Like I've been able to travel and go to different places, but there's nothing like being in the South. Everybody treats you like they're your aunt or your uncle, and everybody wants to give you something to eat. Church potlucks are the best. Oh my goodness, the best food.
What's in a church potluck?
Everything.
Like what? Give me an idea.
I mean, you got macaroni and cheese. Somebody brings rolls. Somebody brings ham. Somebody brings fried chicken. Some people bring like dips. The dessert table is my favorite. You got
Is it
gallons and gallons of sweet tea.
is it difficult to prep for a pageant whilst you're surrounded by this food? Because I have to say, none of it sounds particularly healthy.
No, it's not. And my church does a fifth Sunday dinner every fifth Sunday, and we got one coming up.
So you just have to sit there and look at it and not eat.
I'll pick the healthier options.
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I'm sure it's worth it. What do you do with yourself when it's time to relax? Like if you're not doing pageant prep or you're not working on someone's makeup for their wedding, what do you do to take your mind off things or just to enjoy Tennessee in general?
I like to snuggle with my dog a lot. If I don't like today, I didn't have anything to do. Mondays are really like my Saturdays because I work a lot of the weekend with
Yeah.
my career. But I had a lot of downtime today. So me and my dog laid on the couch and we snuggled for a long time. Just being with her. Oh, she's so bad. Oh, she's so bad. Listen to what she did. She snuck in the house today. I was sitting in here. I heard pop. My door popped open and she looked at me and then she ran and got on her vent that she likes to lay on to stay cool. And then she started licking her lips like she just ate something. I knew
Uh-huh.
exactly what she did. Went to the
Okay.
back bathroom, trash everywhere.
Right. Who's in charge of disciplining your dog?
It doesn't really happen.
I always say you never blame the dog, you blame the owner. So she doesn't ever get told off or anything like that.
I told my dad and he was like, "Oh, you're such a bad girl. You're so bad." I'm like, "She does not understand. She thinks you're loving on her
No.
right now."
Yeah, if you say it in that voice, it's never going to work. Sounds like she needs someone with a firm hand to sort of guide her in the right direction.
No, but
Was your dad?
she's how I relax, even though she's bad. I like spending time with her. We play outside together.
Sounds like fun. Um, you're competing in a couple of weeks. How are the nerves? What are you most looking forward to? What are you most excited about? It's not far away.
I mean, I'm healthily nervous, I believe. You have to have a little bit of nerves or you're not
Yeah,
human.
I think so.
But I'm really excited to like be with everybody again and see all of my friends. Like we've talked about before that it feels like you're going to like church camp or vacation Bible school because we're there for the whole week together and we're like
Yeah.
riding around on the bus, going to all of our meals together and they take our phones. I love that. That is like my
Yeah.
favorite part
Yeah.
is taking my phone. I cannot see what's going on. People cannot be texting me. I don't have to worry about responding to anybody. I have a very good excuse not to. That's like my favorite part. Some people don't like it, but I love it. It's being able to disconnect.
Yeah. I think some people struggle with the whole not having a phone for 5 minutes, but I think it's a very good way, especially if you're spending time around other people. If you really want to connect with them properly and have a proper conversation, I think getting rid of the phones is the easiest way to do it. You competed in Miss Tennessee Volunteer last year, so can you give the people watching, I don't know, your sister queens, give them an idea as to how the week sort of runs? So from the beginning to the end, what's involved?
So we check in on Saturday, and then as soon as we check in, we go and get ready and we go watch the teen pageant,
Right.
which is like a 5-hour pageant. It's so fun because we get to watch the teens and the Irish teens and then all the little girls. I love watching the little girls. I have a couple of them that I've coached this year that are competing, so I can't wait. And then after that, on Monday and Tuesday, we have a lot of rehearsals. Well, Sunday and Monday, we have a lot of rehearsals. And then Tuesday, we start interviews. And then Wednesday, we start the preliminary competitions. So we have prelims on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. And then Saturday night is finals. So
Yeah.
it's a full week.
Yeah. Not every state is like that. Some states are very, very compressed, like maybe 1 or 2 days or a weekend. So you guys have the whole, it's
Yes.
almost like nationals. You have like a whole week there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what part are you most looking forward to? I mean, apart from meeting up with all the girls, which you said, but which part of competition are you most excited for?
I kind of think I'm equally excited.
All of them.
Yes. I'm very excited for all of them this year.
Do you have any expectations on yourself as how you want to perform?
I want to perform my best, the best of my ability.
That's fair. Well, we've been on for a while. Just before we go to the final 10 questions, is anyone that you want to give a shout out to for supporting you along your journey, pageant or otherwise?
My mom, for all of the time she has spent waiting at prelims and helping me and driving. I could not have done it without her, for sure. Mary Marsha for helping me have the best pageant walks. She is amazing at choreographing pageant walks. She's so great. And then my piano teacher, Miss Nancy, that spent all those years with me, my inability to be able to keep up with a metronome and not, getting angry at me for it. But those three people, they've done a lot. And you. Thank you so much for all you've done too.
Very, very welcome. I still think you need help with a metronome, but I don't know what it is with you. You don't seem to like following metronomes at all. I don't know why, but I'm sure one day maybe you'll get a handle of it. All right, let's go through these final 10 questions. Number one, what is your favorite word?
Ooh. I like sleigh.
As in pageant sleigh, not the
Yeah.
Rudolph and reindeer and Santa's sleigh, right?
Yeah, no, pageant sleigh. Like, I
Okay.
use sleigh instead of okay. Like, if somebody texts me something and the response should just be okay, I just say sleigh.
What about what is your least favorite word?
Oh, I don't know.
You want to circle back to it if it comes into
Yeah,
your head?
circle back.
We'll circle back to that. In life, what gets you excited? What turns you on?
Mm. Getting to do new things, having new experiences. I think that's what made me like pageantry so much, was it was something new. And
What
every
about
time you compete, it's new.
what turns you off?
I don't know. Come back to it.
This
Come back
is
to it.
this is not the hard. We're going to come back to a lot of these things. Okay. All right. Number five. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love to give my dog like Cheetos or chips and like listen to her crunch. It's so
Okay.
cute. Now, a person, if you told a person to do that, but this little dog munching on crunchy food,
Yeah,
that's
I
why
got to
she's
say, I think your dog is the most spoiled dog I've ever heard of. I'm not sure that a dog should be eating Cheetos or stuff like
it
that. Is that good
shouldn't.
for the dog? No, I didn't think so. Okay, so chewing sounds, but not from a person, but from your dog, very
Yes.
importantly. Yeah, I don't think anyone has said that chewing from a person is their favorite sound. Okay, so what sound or noise do you hate?
People chewing.
Isn't this really like speciesist? Like you like dogs chewing, but you don't like to hear people chewing.
Okay,
That's
okay.
fair enough.
I'll change it. No, hate my alarm. Hearing the alarm sound to go off. Oh my gosh, that is so. Just like the
What sound?
specific sound on Apple, like the set default alarm.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It's just
That's the one I have. Are you one of those people who has like five alarms set because you know you're going to snooze the first three or four times? Yeah, that
Mhm.
seems to be the thing everyone does. Uh, question seven. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
Oh, I think I'd wanna read people's minds. So, when I'm doing somebody's hair and makeup, I can understand what they actually want, and if they don't like it, I'll be able to know if they don't like it, and I can fix it. Because a lot of times people, like, don't wanna hurt your feelings, so they won't tell you if they really don't like it, and I want everybody, like, that leaves my chair to feel beautiful. So if I can fix
Yeah.
something, if it's just like fixing a color of your blush or changing your lipstick, let me know so I can fix it.
I've often said about that superpower that I'm not sure you'd want it when you're on the pageant stage, is the only thing. Because you may not like hearing what the judges are thinking, but could be interesting. What about number 8? What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
I want to be a registered dietitian. I actually am in the process of applying to dietitian school. I love science, hence the bachelor's in biology. So to be able to apply that through like nutrition and be able to circle that back into pageantry and help pageant girls to be able to have a balanced diet that's healthy and we're not lacking certain food groups that we really need but we think are bad. I would just like to be able to become a dietitian so I can do the hair, the makeup, and I can help you be healthy.
Going to say you're going to be like the complete pageant coach. You're going to be the dietitian, so healthy on the inside, and then the cosmetologist for looking good on the outside. So that's all. That's all the bases covered. What job would you definitely not like to attempt?
I don't think I'd like to be a doctor. I would be so scared. I would like kill somebody by accident. That's too much pressure.
Okay. Didn't you
Too
have
much
to do
pressure.
any didn't you have to do any dissections for your biology?
I did.
How did they go?
They were good. I wasn't I
There you
wasn't gonna
go.
hurt anybody with that. But
Yeah, 'cause it's already dead. But I mean, if you
yeah.
got a steady hand and you're not too afraid of blood, you could make a good surgeon, right? No?
I'd be too
Okay.
nervous. I'd be too nervous.
All right. What about final question, although we have two to circle back to, but final question for now.
Mhm.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done, my good and faithful servant.
I've heard that one. That's a good one. Um, let's circle back. Do you have a least favorite word?
This is so hard. I mean, everybody says moist. I mean, that's not my favorite word.
Okay. We'll take moist as a final answer. That is a popular choice. What about question 4? What turns you off? I'm sure there's something.
People not being willing to communicate well.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mhm.
You made those sound like they're the hardest questions you've ever been asked. They're supposed to be the easy ones, Eden.
It's so hard to like think of like a negative.
Just because you're a positive person all around. Well, Eden, thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck in when are you competing? It's about a month, isn't it? No, 2 months, right? Because it's in July, right?
Yeah, July 22nd through 25th in Jackson,
Someone very
Tennessee
nice. Yep.
at the Carl
Okay, that's
Perkins
good.
Civic Center.
You- Are tickets available? Yeah.
No, they normally
Oh,
don't like go on sale until after nationals. And I think it's
okay.
just because like they're both at the Carl Perkins and they don't want people to get
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah. The Carl Perkins Center is an amazing place for you guys to get to compete in. I mean, you guys are the lucky ones because Volunteer is the home of Tennessee is the home of Volunteer. But are the production values at Tennessee the same as what they were at Nationals
Oh,
last year?
it's insane.
Yeah,
It's
you're gonna have
it's
some fun.
so good. Frank, he does so much and puts so much into it. Like, we've had people come and say that they've never been to a pageant like that before and seen
Yeah,
production at that level for a state pageant. It's
yeah.
amazing. And he wants
I've never
every night
seen
to
it.
be different. No
Yeah.
night is ever the same. We have themed nights. It's so good.
I've never seen a production like that at what I saw at MVA last year. Anyway, I've never seen that anywhere. Not at a national, not at a state. I mean, I'm going to Miss USA later on this year, so in 3 or so months, and I'm going to be very interested to see what the production values are like there. But I will tell everyone watching that MVA certainly knows how to put on a show. Is it the same production team that handles the nationals, that handles your guys' state
I believe
production?
so.
But
I
Frank,
believe
that
so.
sounds like a familiar name. I
Mhm.
remember that name being thrown around before. All right. So tickets for that will be coming on sale soon, probably after nationals. If people want to follow you, follow your adventures, what's the best way?
I'm on Instagram, Miss West Tennessee. Well, Miss West TN, because Tennessee is a hard word to spell. Volunteer. And then the same thing on TikTok, Miss West TN, volunteer.
Perfect. All right. Well, Eden, I'll keep you on the line for just a sec whilst I hang up with the audience. But thanks to everyone for watching, and we will speak to you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you're a competitive pageant girl and you're after some high performance pageant coaching, make sure to come and check us out at thepageantproject.com, where you can start your journey for free. In the meantime, follow us on all our socials at The Pageant Project. Speak to you next time.